If you only knew Kenya through mainstream headlines and international media, you'd think the entire country is stuck in a single outdated story. But over the last 7 days, traveling from the towering skylines of Nairobi straight down to the coastal heartbeat of Mombasa, I documented a reality that almost never gets shown. We are talking about world-class development, an unmatched food and street culture, and an energy on the ground that is actively shaping the future of East Africa. I spent 7 days in Kenya, and this is the beauty and progress the media would show you. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my 7 days in Kenya. I was in Nairobi and I was in Mombasa, and I was really shocked and astonished at how at the development pace Kenya is taking. Nairobi is really developing quick, and Mombasa is also very big on tourism. So I'm going to be taking you through the food, the cuisines, the economic developments and all that. So starting with Nairobi, we arrived from Nairobi from Uganda. We took a bus called a Mashpoa. Mashpoa is one of the biggest brands of buses which take Ugandans to Kenya, and also from Nairobi to Kampala, and I think it also works in Rwanda or South Sudan. I'm not very sure, but we took that bus. It's a very long journey, guys. It's like something like 14 hours, and you're on that bus, you're on road, you're gonna be tired. But I've been to Kenya a couple of times, and I feel like I'm getting used to that journey. Yeah, so we took that bus. We had to do some exchange of the money. The currency rate, Kenyan money is a bit stronger than Ugandan money, and Kenyans sometimes make like jokes about Ugandan money, that you can be a billionaire in Uganda, stuff like that. But anyways, we started our journey from Uganda. That was National Theatre, and we took the 14 hours. We go to see this amazing like wildlife. As you on that route, there we have some towns. We have Naivasha, Kisumu. You're gonna find all those towns on Nakuru, but in between these towns you're gonna find some amazing green life. You're gonna find there's also some game parks, some wild animals. You find there's the Rift Valley. Yeah, it was really amazing, and it's a scenery. Yes, it was long, because most of it was dark, because you start to take the bus at night. Yeah, it was really long, but at the time when you could get in the morning, when the sun rises, you're gonna have the most beautiful view, the panoramas, the Rift Valley, and you're gonna know that right now you are approaching Nairobi. So it was amazing, and I really loved the infrastructure from the other towns in Kenya. Yes, there's Nairobi, which is the main city of Kenya, but you also have these smaller towns like Naivasha, which I find they're also developed in their own way. You find they have these big brands there. I found like it's Nakuru, Kisumu. Yeah, Kenya is really developing fast, and you find these places that also have nice infrastructures. They have nice roads, so it was really amazing. So we found ourselves entering the CBD Nairobi, and you're gonna find the vibe totally changes. You're gonna find these loud matatus, and when the Mashpoa is entering Nairobi, it will enter from this side of there's that stage. I've forgotten how they call it. It enters from that end, and that end is having so many people, so many matatus, so many businesses, smokies, vendors. It's noise and noise and noise. So then you start to hear that vibrant air of Nairobi. You're gonna find it's really vibrant. Nairobi is vibrant, especially from that side of the downtown. And yeah, we found ourselves in Nairobi, and we grabbed some food. We were very tired, and we grabbed some food. Yeah, it was an amazing thing. And then it was about us looking for where to stay, and starting from here, that's when I realized Kenya's Kenya's real estate is really booming. The thing called Airbnb in Kenya is really, really serious. It's a very serious thing in Kenya, and it's growing. And you're gonna find there are so many young people in this business, And when you look on the listings on the Airbnb app or on the booking, you're gonna find so many, And I was shocked by this because in Uganda, this is something which has not yet been really adopted to a maximum, and I feel like it's something we need to work on. So we took a very nice Airbnb in Roysambu. It's called Savo Apartments, and this complex is a very huge complex, with these small nice rooms. There's studio apartments, there's double rooms, and they are very, they have everything you need. They are high end, they are modern, and you're not gonna find only Savo. You're gonna find so many of these guys, and I feel like this is what Kenya is showing. Yes, Kenya has problems, you find like many Kenyans in there are saying like, they have these problems, Kenya's this, and you can also see that yourself. But no city is perfect. I can say no country is perfect. Nairobi is not gonna be perfect, but we just look at how they are pushing forward, they are developing. When you reach the CBD, we reach the CBD. When you look at all those buildings, they are. You find like there are like 3 parts of Nairobi. You find there's Westlands, there's Parklands. You find so much of these these sides, and you're gonna find Upper Hill, and all of these have their own skyscrapers. They have their own businesses going on. I was surprised with Westlands having these huge hotels, skyscraper hotels. It's amazing. The flyovers. I feel like Nairobi is really representing East Africa well, and it's something other East African countries have to border leave if you're gonna keep pushing forward. And so that was the CBD. I really love how the CBD looks. It's well planned. Yes, in the downtown you find there's so much noise, so much old matatus. Waste disposal is not so good, but anyways, these are things which we need to work on going forward. But I feel like Nairobi is really amazing. And when we talk about the culture side, I felt there's a Masai market. This was a very nice part, seeing all this and knowing about the history of Kenyan, fashion, how they did come together. Many of these tribes, the Luo, the Kikuyu, bringing together their styles of clothing, and even from the coast, and bring this nice fashion, Kenyan fashion, the dashakis, the art. So the Masai market is a go-to if you're finding yourself going to Kenya. Also, the other thing in town is also you have to be really careful. The CBD is not really so safe. It's safe. No one is gonna come and harm you, but you have these petty crimes. Maybe you're holding your phone, someone can snatch it and run away with it. So you have to be very, very careful. It is too much there. But you find like many of these other crimes, because there was a time when someone could just come and grab you and take something from you. So you have to really be careful, with your possessions. Maybe in your car you lock it very well, but everything else is really cool. And when you talk about the food, there are 2 types. You're gonna find the side for the high end, where you go to the hotel and they're gonna charge you much. Yes, you get good food, but then it's gonna be costly in a way. But you also find that there's this downer side. They call them kibandaski. These are small hotels. I can say like very cheap. Just go there. Small restaurants, very cheap. You go there and grab something. Amazing. Because I remember we grabbed some food where we had to pay 2 people 250 Kenyan shillings, and that's like $1.50 or $2. that was very cheap, guys. I think that was like $2. That's very cheap, and you're gonna find this. And if you are traveling on a budget, I feel like this is something you're gonna try to, push for. You want to save your budget. You don't want it to be so much. Yeah, you're gonna try out a kibandaski, and also gives you a feel of a kibandaski. You're not gonna get it in any hotel, or in any huge high-end restaurants. So get your friends and go and check out the kibandaski. So that was the thing about the food. Kenyans love ugali. You're gonna find that people are always eating ugali, and their ugali is very nice. And you're also gonna find that the soup, they like nyama choma without like soup. Nyama choma. They like also like fried meat. They like sukuma wiki. Sukuma wiki is some type of greens. If you don't know about it, it's like greens. They like it a lot, but mostly you find like their food is not so much with soup. They're not like soup people like you can find in Uganda. So you only find like Kenyans are not like soup people. Also, they have some other food called githeri, where they get the beans and the maize and they place them together. So you're coming to Kenya, you're gonna find this cuisine. Obviously, they have all other food we have in other countries, like they have the chicken, but mostly these guys love ugali, and also they love chapati. Chapati, chapo mayai, chapo beans, chapo. So like in Uganda, you find chikomando is something which is gonna be eaten as someone who's surviving, but in Kenya, someone can come to a restaurant and they grab, beans and chapati as a meal, But in Uganda, it's kind of like they downgrade it, called chikomando, something like that. Yeah, and when you go to the street, they have these, they call them smokies, small, like smokies, like a sausage. They put inside like kachumbali, tomatoes and onions. So you find also that there in Kenya. It's very popular on the street actually, and you're gonna find also, but that mostly in Nairobi. Mombasa is a kind of a different thing. They also have smocha, where they put the chapati and they put inside the smoky. They have mayai, chapo mayai. Mayai is eggs. They put them kachumbali. So mostly that's you're gonna find many street food like that in Kenya, and it's all over Nairobi actually, and also some other parts, Naivasha, which I found was different when I was in Mombasa. I never found a smoky stand. In Mombasa, they have their own street food, and it's very different. And I was really, shocked that I looked for a smoky and I was not seeing any smoky guy around. I don't know. Maybe I looked on a different route. Maybe you guys can tell us. Also, before leaving Nairobi, we really had a nice time in Nairobi. We also tried the nightlife, the Nairobi nightlife. Expensive, by the way, but the girls are beautiful. People well dressed, and I love the fashion in Nairobi. People have fashion, So we tried the nightlife. It was amazing. Yeah, people splashing some money. It was amazing, guys. It was amazing, and I feel like the nightlife in Nairobi and Kampala, I think quite the same really. I don't see so much difference there going in. And we were invited with a friend. We tried out a club, Mass House, that was in Karen. I think it was an exclusive club, for people with some money, because it's deep inside there. You have to take an Uber, and the beer is kind of pricey. And then we went on to try out Al Capone, and the vibe was really amazing. And they tell us there's so many of these places around Nairobi. So some culture shocks we faced is Nairobi life is very fast, guys. It's very fast, and the city is so packed. The city is really so packed. You're gonna find that so many people. I think Nairobi has many millions of people in there. I think like maybe over 7 million. I don't know. but there are so many people, and you find that these matatus have you're gonna find like people lining up for the matatus, something you're not gonna find in Kampala. In Kampala, you're gonna find that taxis are many, taxis just comes and takes people, it goes, but you'll not find people like lining up to go for the taxi. But in Kenya, it's the real thing. People in the evening are gonna line up very long queues for the matatus. And also you find that these matatus have so much music inside, like, oh guys, they call them nganya, these matatus with nice graffiti and what, they have been put, the lights have been put on, those designs, those matatus, they are very huge. Those matatus, like you are in a club, guys. Crazy. It's like you are in a club. So also there are even these smaller ones, but the music is so much. So if you have this person who's not used to like high music, when you're heading home in a public transport, when you come to Kenya, just now you're gonna find this. And if you're gonna try an Uber, Ubers are quite expensive, and I think the best way for you to travel is taking a matatu. You're gonna save a lot of money, and yeah, they're quite fast to reach where they are. It's not like in Uganda where taxis have to stop for every minute to pick people. Matatus the people enter, they fill up, and then they move on, and they're not going to be stopping every time. So I think they're pretty fast if you're trying to reach where you're going. And also there's not so much jam. Yes, there's jam in Kenya, but it's the moving jam. Kenya has invested in roads, the infrastructure. If you look at the Thika road, it's very, very it's very huge, it's very looks good. It has really eased on jam on that part of the country, part of Nairobi. So guys, the infrastructure in Nairobi is very, very top notch, and you will find that there's jam, but it's moving. It's not like you find that the cars stop completely for over 30 minutes. These are things we face in Uganda often, and I think like our government is really trying also, because there are so many constructions going on, and I think like we can also solve this. Kenya has done it. Their infrastructure, road infrastructure, is really, really amazing, guys. So yeah, we can also try it and also figure it out. But when you come to the standard of living in Kenya, people are really hustlers. People are looking for the money, and if you can't, you're not gonna be able to survive in Nairobi. So that's something I saw about Nairobi. People are really hustling. Yes, people have money. We have so many people, so much money. You're gonna find these very nice cars. Apartments are being built every day. But you also find people who are struggling. But even though they are struggling, people are hustling. People are starting businesses, Airbnb businesses. People are really doing things there. So it's something you're gonna find in Nairobi. We spent in Nairobi 5 days. We covered many different places. Imagine we went and covered Kibera, because they were telling us Kibera is very, very dangerous. And yes, it is dangerous, but I feel like they overstretch it, in the news, in the videos. Kibera, yes, is dangerous, but I don't think it's that dangerous as they portray it. Because we went there, we were very scared, but then we found good people. There are many good people out there, but also there are bad people in there. But they told us it's mostly at night. At night, you don't just need to walk around, people can come and rob you. Yeah, but we went to Kibera. I don't think it was really, really bad, like they say. And we got to see how these people live, and it's not so good, but they're trying, and the government is trying. I saw that they're building for them, apartments in there to help around. It's gonna be like affordable housing, for them. And let's hope that it happens and these people can also live a very good life. Yeah, so we went also in some communities. We went in the Ugandan community. We were shocked, finding people in a foreign country where we can freely speak Luganda, because Luganda is our language, and we enjoy speaking Luganda. So blessed to find a Ugandan community. Though personally, I feel like these people are living really a tough life. The standards of living in this place were really not good, I can say, and I feel like they need help. Most people are unemployed, and those who are employed, they are not really making serious businesses. People are drinking a lot, people are gambling. So I was really not impressed by what I saw, and I hope these people can be helped, they get jobs. But I was really happy at the fact that I was speaking Luganda, with fellow Ugandans. We also went to the Ethiopian community. There are many Ethiopians there, though they are scattered a bit. So we also went to the Eritrean. There are some few Eritreans in there, but the biggest community was the Somali community. Somalia, the Somali in Kenya, there are some of who are indigenous to Kenya because they are Somali Kenyans, because there's a part of Kenya which also have Somalis, but there are also those who just came in Somali and in Kenya. And you find that these people are mostly settled in Eastleigh, Kenya, and this community has really developed this place. You find that there is a lot of apartments which are being set up, huge. It's like a CBD, a CBD of apartments. And you find that they have really integrated with the society. Many of them speak Swahili, and many of them are really, there's intermarriages with locals. And I was really happy at how Eastleigh is developing, and how the Somalis interact with other Kenyan groups. It was really amazing. And just know Eastleigh is developing into something, and I find Eastleigh in a few years it may be the biggest part of Kenya's economy, the biggest supplier to the Kenyan economy, because when we went there we found there's so much businesses going on in terms of clothes, in terms of other things. There's so much going on in Eastleigh, and you find that these Somali people are really putting so much to the Kenyan community, and there are very many guys. Somali community in Kenya is huge. Yes, in Uganda it's huge, but you find that they have not really integrated so much with the community. Some of them don't speak Luganda, but bro, I was shocked at how many these Somali people are in Eastleigh, and Eastleigh is really developing fast, very fast. And you find that in Eastleigh there is also a mall called the BBS Mall, and this is one of the biggest malls in not only in East Africa but in Africa. It's really huge. We entered there, it was really nice, amazing, modern. So you all find that in Eastleigh. So after that, yes, we enjoyed ourselves in Kenya, viewing around the Uhuru Park, seeing Kenya on a Sunday, seeing young people who are doing TikToks, and we were like, wow, Kenya's future is in bright hands. People are really embracing the change. They're embracing the internet, and that's amazing. So that was Kenya for us. Yes, I enjoyed the experience. Kenya and Nairobi is a very special place. So after that, we decided, why don't we go and check out Mombasa, So we decided we're going to take a train that's going to take us to Mombasa. We faced just one issue. We didn't know how these things operate. So we thought we can go in at any time and maybe before the departure and get a ticket. But unfortunately, we came to the train station and we wanted a ticket for the afternoon train. But when we reached, all tickets had been sold out, and we had to wait for 10 p.m. train. So we're like, how are we gonna get beautiful content? There's no light. It's time for sleeping. But we said okay. So we waited around, and this place, they don't allow filming, so I couldn't really get so much right there. But I was impressed at how elegant, how modern this train terminus is, and it's like an airport actually. Even the processes they use, checkups and all that, it's like you're at the airport. It's grand. It has the lobby. You may think you're at the airport in the lobby. So we had to wait, check out the surrounding area, get some food from a local Somali restaurant, until we waited for the 10 p.m. train, the D-Day, the 10 p.m. train. So we took the 10 p.m. train, and our experience was really amazing. This train is modern. It has been, taken care of very well. There's not so much plug. There's not so much of the spoiling of things which you're gonna find in many public things. It was really amazing. It was comfortable. So we took it. I think it's like a 6-hour or 7-hour journey from Nairobi, and then, but by that time we were very, very tired. Very tired, and reached Mombasa. And when we reached the terminus in Mombasa, we had to again board another train to reach us to the main part of Mombasa, which is the city. So we took this train, and I can say kudos to the Kenyan train. The people handling this train thing, it's really amazing. The government is doing an amazing thing. Like, it's very seamless. Yes, it's not like the modern China trains or America, but it is really amazing. We took that. It was a nice experience, watching the panoramas. I swear, really, Mombasa is very beautiful. Before you even reach the main island, it gives you these beautiful, panoramas, the landscapes. They are very amazing, guys. And it was really great. I feel like it's a very nostalgic thing. It's a very nostalgic moment, passing through those panoramas. And then we found ourselves in Mombasa, And but when you reach, you just see that you just get that coastal feel, the coastal part of Mombasa, guys. Mombasa is really amazing. The first thing we did was taking a tuk-tuk, and we got a very nice tuk-tuk guy who took us around, and we looked for an Airbnb. Though in Mombasa it's quite tricky, I don't think the type of real estate happening in Nairobi has come to Mombasa. It was kind of tricky for us to really get Airbnb, but good, we finally got it, and it was really amazing. It was really a nice establishment, very posh and not very pricey. Can you imagine? You paid only $3,000, and that's like $30. It was not so pricey. So we went there, and then our adventure started in Mombasa, and we started by touring the place, getting to get some food, some biryani from a place called Manga Boys. And I can confidently say that Mombasa biryani is the best biryani I've ever tasted. And they told me the biryani comes from Mombasa. So I don't know, guys. I never proofread that, but trust me, that biryani was amazing, guys. It was really, really amazing. We arrived, went through the place. Yes, the buildings really look old, and they're not so aesthetic. When you're in town, there was also a problem of waste management. The garbage was not really wasted well, but it was not really handled well. But trust me, this vibe the city gives you, the buildings, the way they look, it's like you have just entered another alien place, because it's very different from Uganda. It's very different from Nairobi.
You know, it's just a different place there. The people look different. You know, you find mostly Swahili people who mix of Arabs and the locals, and you're gonna find also the Arabs. You're gonna find the locals. You're gonna find new street foods. Can you imagine? You tried many new street foods there. The street food which was mostly there in Mombasa was the shawarma. These guys eat shawarma. Everywhere you find, they make shawarma. And they have so many different types of street foods. And I was really shocked that you don't find Nairobi street foods and not in Mombasa. And it's like these are two different countries, yet these cities are in the same country. Nairobi and Mombasa, very different, you know, culturally very different, cuisine-wise very different. The looking of people is also different. Also in Mombasa, you're not gonna find the matatu culture. You're gonna find these small matatus and mostly tuk-tuk, which is not so much in Nairobi. So those are the differences I found going in Mombasa. And one thing also you have to look out for is Mombasa is really hot. Nairobi is a bit colder, but Mombasa is hot, guys. We're just sweating all the day walking around. So you have to be prepared for that. Mombasa is very hot. Also, we moved around, you know, seeing these nice old buildings. But that was before we went to Old Town. So after we went to Old Town. So Old Town is where you're gonna find Fort Jesus. This is a place where these Portuguese, when they were coming at the coast, they settled there and they built a fort, you know, in case their enemies come, they makes it easy for them to attack them from the heightened area of the fort. So that's how Fort Jesus was built. And we didn't manage to enter in because it was a kind of bit expensive for us because we are moving on a budget to pay entry fees. So we just decided, let's just explore Old Town. And trust me, Old Town is beautiful. You're gonna find houses which have been there for 300 years. We even found graves which were there for 300 years. These people died 300 years ago, and we found these. The houses are immaculate. Trust me, these houses are immaculate. These houses are beautiful, and they are still inhabited till now. These houses are over 100 years old, but people are still in these houses. We even found the oldest hotel in Kenya, which was started in 1901. Amazing, guys. We moved through Mombasa. We enjoyed that Old Town vibe. You know, they have those beautiful coastal texture, which is, I think, a mixture. Which is an influence of the Arabic architecture. So that's what you're gonna find in Old Town. It was really amazing, and nice hotels. You're gonna find tourists. I think this is a place in Mombasa where you're gonna find the most tourists. They're passing through the Old Town, and we were there. We found some, you know, antique shops where there were like antiques of over 60 years, 80 years, you know, and it was really amazing. This Tanzanite, there was also this Tanzanite mineral. So Old Town was really amazing, and Old Town is next to the ocean itself. So just a movement, just a small movement, you're at the ocean, and you're gonna find these places where you find these people, diverse people, Somali, Arabs, you know, Swahili people. They are eating street food. It was an amazing picture, you know, and I feel like it's a feeling you only get when you're in Mombasa. And guys, I think it's something you have to put on your plan. Someday that you're gonna come and visit Mombasa, guys. It's really amazing. It will be worth your while. So we checked out the ocean. We had a talk with the people at the ocean, young people swimming, you know. It's really amazing. But the water is really salty. The water is very salty. Like, you know, ocean water is very salty. And then we also visited our place. We visited Mama Ngine. It's called Mama Ngine. It's a place where people just come to chill. It's a very huge, nice place. But we visited it at night. We really never got to really enjoy, you know, that place. But you find so many people. Some small local businesses, some local street food. People are just chilling around, and from that area there is also a ferry which connects people to the other area. I don't know, I forgot the name of the other area, but you get the ferry and you cross to the other area. And many people are always every day walking from this end of Mombasa, and they are taking the ferry every time. But we couldn't try it out because it could take so much time from us, and we had to check out the horns. How do you leave Mombasa without checking their most famous landmark? It's like the horns. The horns. I think, are they the horns? Yeah, I think they are the ivories. The horns. Yeah, so those horns of Mombasa, you can't leave Mombasa actually without like checking them out. So we checked out the horns of Mombasa, and I can say Mombasa is next to my heart. I love the food so much. I love the biryani. And when the time reached for us to leave, I was like, oh man, we're leaving Mombasa. But our hearts are gonna stay in Mombasa. But we had to leave Mombasa, and it was really heartbreaking, but Mombasa was really amazing. And it has to be on our bucket list, guys. So then we decided our tour of Kenya is done, and yeah, it's time to return to Uganda. But that was really memorable, and I can say thank you Nairobi, thank you Mombasa, and thank you Kenyan people for the hospitality you gave us. And please continue watching my videos. I'm gonna be back in Uganda now doing Ugandan content, and I'll be back someday. But please continue watching my videos, subscribe to the channel, like and comment, and I'll see you in the next videos. Peace.